be putting some gauges in my truck today, and I'm not a big fan of the A-pillar thing. I just don't really like it. So I'm gonna put my gauges on my dash here. So this is your overdrive switch area, except for my truck's a manual, so there's like this little useless pocket. And over here is the useless cup holders. The dash is so brittle, if you actually use this cup holder, you'll just like break your dash into pieces, so you can't even use it. So these two areas are good areas that aren't being used for anything that I can put gauges in. I'm just gonna be running 2 gauges right now, but there'll be room for others. So all I did was I took and cut out this whole area, and I took my angle grinder here, and I made this all nice and flat and smooth, both holes. And then I went on Amazon. I just typed in like Metra, I think is the brand that makes it. It's the brand, they make like installation kits for radios and stuff. I typed in like Metra, like ABS plastic, and this come up, it's like $3 or something. It's just a piece of plastic. It's like 1/8 inch thick. It's 12 by 12, and it's 12 inches is just wide enough for to do both those all in one piece. So I measured 2 3/4 inch here. I'm gonna start out with that. I think at the widest point it's that wide, and I'll have to trim it down from there. Alright, so I cut it here. It doesn't even start to fit in this corner here. I'm gonna have to trim that off first, I think. I went ahead and got a piece of paper. I figured it'd be easier to start with paper to get the right shape. So I got a piece of paper that kind of fits there decent. So I'm gonna try to duplicate that on my piece of plastic here. Seem too bad. I think that looked pretty nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and JB weld this thing in here. Let's do it on the back side, all the way around all the edges, and then once it dries, drill my holes in it for my gauges. I think it looks pretty clean, and I think it'll look pretty nice. Pretty easy to do. Like I said, the plastic was like $3. So if you got something to cut it with, it's a little bit of a cleaner installation. I'm not really into like aftermarket, like making your truck look a lot different. I kind of like to keep it kind of stock. So this is a nice clean way to add some gauges to your truck. Alright, so before I do the JB weld, I decided to take some RTV and go around it, because in the past when I used JB weld, when you let that sit overnight, it sometimes it finds its way in places where you don't want it to go, like going through the seam here in between the two pieces, and maybe coming out the front side where you can see it. You don't want that. So I'm just going to put RTV around the edges here, just to seal it up nice, and then when I put the JB weld on, it definitely won't leak through. So I went around, did that. When I pushed this on, it kind of squished out the other side. Some I already wiped that up, most of it anyway. So it looks pretty decent, if you can see it. There you go. So I'll get the JB weld on there, and that will That will keep it on here real good. So I just finished slopping all this JB Weld on there. I think I put on a little bit more than I needed, and it looks like crap, but it doesn't matter because it's in the back. And there's a good amount all around the edges. You don't really need it in the middle. I just had too much and ended up smearing it around. If you do what I do here and you get it all over the middle of it, just make sure it's kind of flat in the center, because your gauges have to mount to the back of that, so you want it pretty flat. You could always sand it later, but yeah, I mean, it looks like crap, but it will look good on the front when it's done. So I'm gonna let this cure for a day, and then I'll put my holes in it to mount my gauges. All right, guys, my JB Weld's all cured up. Looks good, nice and strong. This is nice and solid. I think it looks pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill my holes here. I marked the center locations of where I want the holes at. I'm gonna go ahead and take this 1/4-inch drill bit and drill these out. Go ahead and put this into my, this is a 2 1/8 inch hole saw here. Alright, so there's the finished product there. It looks pretty good. I think I got them pretty well centered. So my gauges are in the mail. Once they get in, I'll go ahead and install these, and we'll see how it looks in the truck. But I'm pretty happy with it. I got like the price of JB Weld and this like $3 piece of plastic in doing this. And I like this better than the pillars on the, or the gauges on the pillar. I think it's more out of the way and a little bit cleaner looking, so pretty happy with it. Alright guys, so I got everything ran to the dash here. I just finished wiring it up. My exhaust temperature gauge here, it had a black and a red wire that I ran down here to this cigarette outlet. I also use that ground for my illumination here, and then on my CD player, there's actually the illumination wire wasn't even used on my CD player, so I use that to power these. I'll go ahead and test them. They light up green like the rest of the dash, so that should look pretty good. So this is all wired up, lights are wired up. The boost gauge, besides the light, doesn't even have a wire, it just has this line here. So there's not much left to do except for just plug them in. Here's how my dash turned out here. I think it looks pretty good. I got my gauges mounted in there, so I'm gonna plug everything in, and we'll see how it looks when I'm done. Alright guys, so there's the finished product there. It looks pretty good. I gotta put my my ashtray in still, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. This, like I said, this pocket here, if you don't have overdrive, totally useless. You can't put anything in it, it just falls right back out. Same with this cup holder, totally useless. All the back of the dash is broke anyway, or if it's not broken, you put something heavy in there, it will break it. So for some reason this thing's fogging up, not sure why. It was I mean, I sat it outside for like 10 minutes or something. I don't know if the dew outside got in there or what, but I guess it'll dry out after a little while. So I'm gonna take this thing for a spin and see what my numbers look like, and I will catch you guys next time. Me and my stepson Mason here, we're out running errands, and we happen to notice a pretty not full, large, wet parking lot, and I just can't help myself. There we go, that's what I was looking for. That's all I wanted to do. I don't know why it's such a big deal. I'm good. This is why you add horsepower to your truck, because it makes things like that a little bit more fun.
Very.
See you guys next time.